Hi folks, and welcome once again to the headquarters of Mr. Trek. Got an interesting little video here for you. These 1/25th scale figures in this video represent full-size human beings. Okay, so this is a figure of our ambassador in Toronto, Ambassador Emsley, who, as you know from previous videos, has done an absolute mountain of work for me. Let me just pull the camera over here to our security guard. Okay, and I'll just say again that these figures now represent full-size people. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to put into clarity, if I already haven't done in many other videos, I want to put into clarity just the scale of the project that is underway here. So what you see our security guard, our full-size person standing next to, is a 1/350 scale Enterprise model. So this model will be like the like the standard model kits that you can buy, and that Tomy model that has been flying around recently. Very beautiful models, actually. If you see some of these models by some of the model makers, they are absolutely mind-blowingly beautiful. And also, of course, of the refit. The Tomy model is of the refit, which also looks very beautiful on the outside, at least. Okay, so that's that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let me just put my fingers in there so you can get a reference of how tiny this cute little model is. It's a really fiddly to make, but very, very cute. Let me now bring in the 1/100 scale. Okay, now here you can see me handling the 1/100 scale model. So that's me working with the saucer section, placing the saucer section on the 1/100 scale model onto the secondary hull. Now let's bring that 1/100 scale into our scale setup here. So I'm sliding in now the 1/100 scale model in front of our security guard. So I'm just going to move him out of the way so that we can see this. Alright, so if you just come over the top, you can see quite a massive difference, really. I mean, this 1/350 scale, it's a good size. It's a good size for a model kit. It really is. Sometimes when I've seen people taking their Tomy Enterprise out of the box, I've been really envious about that. It's like it is an epic size. It's a good size. But this here is the size of the 1/100 scale that I'm working on. And seriously, I've just knocked these ships up. I really have. I've just kind of like put them together very quickly. So it's just a basic detail of the ship, but you can get an idea of the size. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the 1/25th scale model, and when I do this, you will truly get an idea of the scale of this project. And actually, I have to pull out a little bit here to bring this 1/25th scale in. There's the saucer section appearing. I have to pull out a little bit more, and we're all almost covering our ambassador there. So I'll have to bring him out from under the saucer. But there it is, folks. That is the 1/25th scale Enterprise that is underway, that I'm working on there. I just changed the angle a little bit. So now you can see all three of those. The 1/350 scale, the 1/100 scale, and the 1/25th scale. Absolutely enormous. Let's take a look at those ships from the side. I can't get over how cute that little 1/350 scale is. It's really cool. Okay, the 1/100 scale, and there is our ambassador right by the side of the secondary hull of the 1/25th scale. Now, importantly, this 1/25th scale model, in many of the previous videos that I've shown now, all the focus has gone onto this 1/100 scale, which in itself I think is actually a really a bit of an epic project, really, building the full inside. And here we just see a little bit of detail of the bridge module and the teardrop on that 1/100 scale. So not a small project by any means of this one, but this one, I'm getting quite a few comments, understandably, asking me what has happened to this 1/25th scale model, because it all seems to be just focused on this now. And I'll tell you what's happening with that. If you've been following previous videos, you will know that I did actually have a really big, nice studio where this could be built. And here am I actually sat on the layout of the 1/25th scale saucer section that I was building in this big studio, which I was really made up about. Unfortunately, I got thrown out of that because the marine engineers wanted the space that I was working in to do their own thing, so I had to get out of that, and the funds were not available for me to move right into somewhere else. I got that big space at a discount. I got a very good deal on it, and to move into a space like that, I just couldn't find the same deal. It was costing a fortune. Okay, so I'll be honest with you, the 1/25th scale went on ice, but it is still very much an active project. And it's amazing the way things happen in this universe, because sometimes things do happen for the best. Because since I've been focusing on this, the 1/100 scale, there's lots of mistakes that I've seen when building this that I wouldn't have seen when I'm building the 1/25th scale. So in a way, I'm really happy that this has happened, so that I can really get a feel for how this 1/100 scale is going to translate up perfectly into the big one, the big E, the 1/25th scale. Okay, now let me just show you this. So what is this? This, folks, is a very real possibility of a new space where I can begin construction on that 1/25th scale, serious construction on that 1/25th scale. This is actually a 1/25th scale model that I'm in the process of building, and I'm not just doing this for fun, and I'm not just doing it as as I don't know, as some kind of distraction or something. I'm actually really building this as a serious take, because something has happened recently, which I can't go into too much detail about that at the moment, but something has happened that means this space, for me to either have built or to find a space already like this at this size, has arisen. Okay, and I don't know, I actually believe in intention and in manifest and consistency. And the reason that I'm building this is that, folks, I am literally manifesting this into existence. It's an art gallery. It's an art studio. You can see here that I've got a big white wall, because as many of you know by now, I'm also an artist. I love painting. I love abstracts. Here are a few of my abstract paintings. This was inspired by the Large Hadron Collider at CERN, and then just a few other paintings that I've done, like mystical paintings, all that kind of thing. So I'm very much into this, and I'm very much into exploring, developing the art scene. So essentially, This is a giant art studio. It's a big art studio that I'm manifesting, and I have a target for this thing to either be built or to move into it already there by the summer. Okay, so it gives me time to work on the 1/100th scale Enterprise whilst at the same time having this quietly developing in the background. I've purposely I'm decorating the inside purposely Starfleet style, original Enterprise style. This here would be, this red door would be the back door, so it's just a simple slidey door that I would manually slide open, but it looks like one of the corridors in the Enterprise. As we come down here, there would be like a big barn door that opens at the front, so I can move large pieces of wood and material in. And of course, there's going to be big tables in here too. So let me just bring in this little bit of foam core here. There you can see the scale of everything by my hand. There's going to be big tables, maybe 2 big tables for working on, for building and setting things up. Lots of light. The roof isn't on yet, but I will have windows in the roof. And right here, you know what is going to be here, because these red railings are kind of reflecting the vibe of main engineering, and then coming down here is going to be those like main engineering stepways that can be easily built. And on that back wall there, that brown back wall, my idea is to have the Mr. Trek logo right on there. Okay, now upstairs on this second level, what would we have here? I mean, can you imagine just leaning on that, like the red rails either of engineering or on the bridge? Up here would be, my idea is a sofa and chairs and chill out place would be available, so that when I get a little bit exhausted working late into the night down here, I can come up those main engineering steps and have a bit of a snooze and a chill out on the second level. And also I can look down with a different perspective on these big paintings that will be in there. And they are big paintings. Let me just get one of those figures. So again, remember this is a 1/25th scale model, so our security guard there again represents a full-size figure. Let's go down to ground level and see him stood next to these big paintings. I feel completely confident that when I get into this space, which will be a permanent space by the way, it's not going to be like, you know, the place that I got thrown out of. It was always on and off, and that's why I got a really good deal on it, because it was always on and off whether we could stay. I was there with a few more artists, and I don't know really. I don't know what that does to you. It puts you in a kind of a bit of an insecure situation, whereas this situation here is not an on and off. It would be permanent, so I could really get my stuff in there, get my act together, and start working on that 1/25th scale. Now, okay, just for reference, folks, let me just bring in that 1/350 scale there. So I'm going to put all 3 scale models in here. So there's our 1/350 scale, complete. No issues there. No issues there. Let me bring in the 1/100 scale. Alright, there's the 1/100 scale. And as you can see, again, no issues there for space. Absolutely beautiful. You know, I could have the big tables there with cutting mats on one and all kinds of things on the other. And all my paints would be set out. I wouldn't need to keep putting my paints away. I could even have, you know, saws and drills and everything else in here that I need to build these things and do my painting, do my artwork. Now, I'm going to bring in the 1/25th scale, and you see that this is going to be a different story. So I'm going to move the large 1/100 scale over here by the windows. I'm going to move the 1/350 scale over by the windows, and then let's bring it in Here we go. Enterprise landing in space, Doc Captain. Look at that. Just, oh, hey, whoa. There we are. Watch out. Who's in command? Who's piloting this ship? So, there we are. So you can see, actually, I'm going to have to manifest a bigger space than what I'm projecting here. Because this actually, it's only just fitting in. I mean, I could build the saucer section in here, no problem, down at this level. But we need a bigger space. But anyway, you get the idea. I'm manifesting this, folks. I'm bringing this into reality. Let me just get a top shot down of that, so you can see this from the upper level. There it is, the EPIC Enterprise. Okay, just going to drop down. I mean, can you imagine this? Can you imagine this? Walking past, oops, second level isn't quite fixed into position. Excuse the camera shake, folks. I just got to put that back in there. Okay, can you imagine walking past this here and seeing this through the windows? I mean, that reminds me of that shot where, you know, where they're on the starbase and then the Enterprise pulls slowly in there, so you can see it through the windows right there. Okay, let me know what you think about this in the comments section. Do you also believe in manifestation of this kind of thing? Because I do. Because, like I say, this is not just me building a fantasy interior to build this 1/25th scale in. This interior here is a very real reality that is likely to arrive sometime mid to late summer 2026. I'll keep you updated on all that. But let me know. Please also do support this project. Support, like, Patreon link and GoFundMe link is in the description of this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And again, I love hearing your comments. I love getting the feedback, and I'm really interested to hear what your feedback is going to be about this one. Okay, folks. I hope you're all well out there, and I'll see you soon with the next video where this art studio will be complete with ceiling, and I'm even going to put a few pieces of original art on the wall there. Okay, see you soon, folks. Bye for now. Shh.